What is up, guys, and we're back. Now, I am so happy to be able to present to you the most complicated guide I have ever featured on my channel. Now, I am going to break it down step by step. If you have seen any of my bungalow setup tutorials, you know how I'm going to walk you through this. In this video, we are going to be utilizing every single property in the game to create a super circuit that is going to produce you an insane amount of product. This is it. Me and the buddies on stream have just spent the last 5 and 6 hours going through this, designing as a group together the most efficient 3 property stage cycle for coca production in Schedule 1. You can probably hear the excitement in my voice. I am so stoked to finally get this done. Now, I'm going to take you through a walkthrough. Now, obviously, the first stage is going to be the docks. Now, this stage is relatively simple. We're going to have 4 rows of 8 airpots, which is going to be 32 plants in total, all fed into shelves on the side that is going to be fed by storage racks on the side as well. You're going to have 4 botanists looking after this, and that is it. This step is very easy. Now, you might be asking yourself, why only 4 botanists for 32? And that is because this is not the bottleneck of your operation. This is the simplest step, okay? So your first step is going to be your coca production, and that is going to be the easiest step of them all. But in order to do it, you're going to need a large amount of space, and we've spaced these airpots out pretty large so your workers can get through them pretty easily. Now, the second stage of your process is where things get a little bit more complicated. Now I'm going to take you to the barn. Here we go. Welcome to the barn. Now, this is the second stage of your process. As you can see, we have 8 cauldrons lined out and 8 lab ovens. And of course, we've got 8 shelves in the back. This is going to be fed your final product, okay? Now, your quality is not going to be standard. That is just there for testing purposes. Now, if you're like me and you're thinking cauldrons, oh no, they're so buggy, how are we going to get them to work? I have the solution to you. Now, Mr. Hutch, I know you're listening. Thank you so much for giving me the final piece of information to get these cauldrons working. Like I said, guys, this is going to be a bug-free, issue-free walkthrough for a full 3-stage, 8-step mixing process for coca using every single property. And of course, I'm going to show you exactly where to put everything. Now, this, I'm just walking you through. This is the barn setup. This is going to feed coca from your cauldrons seamlessly. Now, let us go to the most complicated part of the process. Now, if you've seen the bungalow and you're thinking 8-step mixing, you're probably thinking, oh no, cowboy, you showed us last time and it didn't work. And I know, and from the bottom of my heart, I am sorry. There was a bug I was not aware of in my last setup, but I promise you we have ironed it out. This is the brand new 8-step mixing process that is going to pump out a brick a minute. I swear to you, no word of a lie, 1 brick a minute. As you can see, we have tested this for 10 bricks, 1 single run plus 2. This is it, guys. No hiccups in this build. We're utilizing 3 chemists for 8 mixing stations and 2 fully maxed out handlers. We've got a strategy and it's going to work. Now let us get back into the docks and start setting this bad boy up. And of course, at each stage of the process, we're going to be walking into a completely empty barn and bungalow and docks, and I'm going to build it for you step by step. And of course, like always, the items required are going to be in the description. Do not underestimate how much effort went into setting this up for you guys. Only the best guides and content from here on out. Now, don't pay too much attention to the racks in the back. We're just going to be focusing on these airpots now. Now, I have gone 2.5 or 1.5 spaces out from these stairs. As you can see, we see 4 cubes there, 1 cube, 2 cubes, and a half out, and then we're leaving a healthy space of 2.5 between each air pot, okay? Now you're just going to want 4 rows of air pots of 8 with a healthy space in between them. Now going lengthways, you're not going to need that space. Now, like I've said before, guys, this is not your bottleneck. This is not the hard part of your process. This doesn't need to be maxed out. 32 plants are going to produce you more premium quality coca leaves than you know what to do with, I promise. So you're just going to keep building out these plant pots as far as you want. Like such, we've got 4 rows of 8, okay? And while we're here, we're going to be clicking on every individual plant pot like so until we have selected all 32 plant pots. Now you're going to see on the screen, manage 32 pots. You're going to press E, select the seed is going to be a coca seed, and your first additive is going to be fertilizer. Now we have 8 storage racks lined along the side here, and this is going to be the final destination for your coca leaves. Now, there is another totally optional option if you want your coca leaves to be routed to the front of your docks so it's faster to grab them. You can set those shelves up over there, but for us, simplicity and convenience sake, they're going to be going right there in the middle, 4 on either side, 8 shelves. Now, we're going to be assigning 4 plant pots per shelf, so we're going to start right here, select the destination to the first shelf. We're going to move over 1, 2, 3, 4, select the destination to the second shelf. We're going to move over 1, 2, 3, 4, and I believe this is going to the third shelf. And then we're going to move over again 1, 2, 3, 4. This is going to the fourth shelf. And again, we're going to go down back here 1, 2, 3, 4 to the fifth shelf. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now we're going to go back to the unassigned pots. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is going to the sixth shelf. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we're going to go lastly over here. 1, 2, 3, 4 to the seventh. Now we know where that's going to be. And then finally, your last 4 pots are going to number 8. Like so. There you have it. 32 plant pots evenly assigned to 8 storage racks. Now, we're going to evenly assign your 4 botanists to 4 supply shelves that are going to be supplying your plant pots. Now, here are the supply shelves we have set up. We've gone roughly into the middle and we've just punched a hole and we've gone 4 either sides, okay? 4 supply shelves on either side. Now, these are going to be your main supply shelves. And these 4 over here are going to be your reserves. Now, very simply, we're going to walk up to the botanist, select the supply shelf, and we're just going to walk and start with, it might make sense if we start with the furthermost right. Like I said, guys, this is not the critical stage. The next stage is going to be the critical one. And of course, the one after that is going to be even more critical. Now we're going to assign them beds. Now you're going to see beds upstairs. Those are not the beds we're going to use. We're going to be using these beds down here. Now you can put these beds closer to the door if you like. The main reason we've put these on the factory floor is just so it's easy for you to maintain how much money is in those briefcases. And of course you're going to have a bed for you. Now for your final employee, you're going to be setting them a bed as well. I'm just going to be putting him away upstairs. And then we're going to be placing down some trash cans. Now, the most efficient way to place down trash cans is going to be in a triangle formation. So the triangle we're set up, we're going to go for is 1 over here, 1 down in the middle, and we're going to go for 1 back here. Now, these trash cans are for you if you don't have the best PC in the world. This is the setup that we're going to go for. Now, if you need a little bit more space, we're actually just going to be super safe and we're going to put that over there. I definitely don't want your botanist getting stuck on this trash can. Like I said, guys, this farm is producing 8 coca leaves per plant pot, all right? So 8 times 34, that's going to be 272, and you might even get 9 coca leaves. So that's going to be even more, okay? And that's going to be per plant cycle, Alright, so that's 1 seed per plant pot, alright? That's going to be close to 300 units, which is over 10 bricks. Now we're just going to be assigning the cleaner his trash cans, and as you see, we've got a pretty good spread. Unfortunately, that is not going to cover. Now I'm going to take the risk. You don't have to, but I am going to risk a little bit of cleaners blockaging just to get a good spread. Now totally up to you whether you want to take it. Now I'm going to put down these suspension racks like such, just one over every plant pot, making sure you get them nicely on there. You're just going to make sure you have enough walkway between here. We're looking good, guys. Plenty of walkway between these racks. Now, unfortunately, we're going to get to this trash can and we're going to have to jump. That's okay. I've done it before. I've had to jump over trash cans and haven't faced many issues. Now, if I've been saying the number 34, I apologize. I do mean 32, okay? 4 multiples of 8 is 32, not 34. There you have it. You have your suspension racks put in. Now time for your lights. Now all that is left to do is to fill the supply shelves. We went with these ones here. Now you're going to want to put 30 coca seeds in each shelf like so. 1, 2, 3 into each shelf. There you have it. It should start to look like this for you. Now you're going to put 20 extra long life soil into each shelf and you're just going to set it up like such. Just so you have 2 at the end and 3 going across. And then finally, you're going to put in your 30 fertilizer into each shelf. And there you have it. That is your supply shelves full. Now we're just going to put money into these briefcases. Now all we're going to do is assign our botanist pots, which is going to be really easy. Just pick a row and shift click down the row and press enter. Now that botanist is going to get to work. And we're just going to find the next botanist. And we're going to assign him the second row by holding shift and walking down. And you're going to do this for the rest of your botanists onto every single row, making sure they are fully assigned to the airpots. Now guys, when we return at the end of the video after we've finished setting everything up, I promise these shelves are going to be full of coca leaves. Now when I said we were going to tear everything down, I meant it. Now this is going to be relatively easy to set up, but don't let the ease of setup fool you. This is the most efficient coca processing plant in Schedule 1. Now first step, you're going to come up to this middle pillar here. You're going to walk straight up to it with your shelves. I'm going to grab out and just offset them 1, 2, 3, 4 like such. 1, 2, 3, 4, okay? And that is going to be your finished product shelves. Now we want to take our lab ovens and we want to walk over to these stairs here, and we're going to get that leg in line with that last step there, the one that is just about to go to the ground, like so. And then we're going to put another lab oven right here, and now we're going to turn the corner, leaving a good gap between them like such. Now you're just going to want to follow that the whole way down, okay? You're going to be taking these lab ovens right as far as they can go, and there you go, that is your lab oven setup. Now for your cauldron supply shelves, we're going to be setting up a row of shelves like such. Now this is not super precise, okay? We just want to make sure we get 2 shelves within these beams, and then 2 shelves are going to be relatively close together, okay? And then we're going to want to jump over to the other side of the beam and make sure 2 storage racks are on there like so, and we're going to put 1 more inside this beam here, and then you're going to want to put your last shelf pretty much in line with that window. Now you should get a setup that looks roughly similar to this. You're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, skip 5, 6, 7, and then 8, okay? And those are going to be your cauldron supply shelves. Now for everyone's favorite, the cauldrons. Your first, and then you're going to go hard up against the shelf. That's going to be your line there. 1, gap 2, gap 3, gap 4, gap 5, gap 6, gap between you and the wall. So this is going to help you a lot. You're going to want to center this cauldron in between these 2 shelves like so, just so it's overhanging just a little bit. Now we're going to go back over here and we're going to do the same just here as well. Now the orientation is we want the back legs to be up against these posts. Now for the bed layout, we're going to put 4 up against this wall. The first one is going to be on the other side of the beam. 1, 2, now we're going to come out a step, 3, 4, and then we're going to put the last bed right here. Now we're going to go to the other side. Now your other set of beds are going to go 1 horizontally hard up against. We're going to go 2, 3 here, and we're going to go turn 1, 2, and then finally 3, okay? And these are going to be your beds. This is going to leave a nice walkway between all of the stations. Don't worry about too much between here. Only you will be going behind here. Now we're going to be assigning cauldrons lab ovens. Now this is why we set them skewed, just so they're easier to count. So we go 1 to 1, 2 to 2, 3 to 3, 4 to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now we're going to go, this one's 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and now we know this one is going to be 7, which is going to be that one there, and then 8 is going to be closest there. Now you're going to have 8 chemists standing outside, and we're going to do the same thing for them. So you're going to see assign stations as none. We're going to assign them 1, and then 1, and then that's going to be it. You're going to go to your next chemist, and you're going to assign the stations 1, 1, and your next chemist, we're going to move into the third cauldron, and that's going to go to number 3. Now we're going to be going to the fourth cauldron, which we know is this one, and that's going to be going to number 4. Now we're going to go to number 5. That's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now cauldron number 6 is going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Cauldron number 7, and that's going to be going to number 7. So I had 2 chemists standing right on top of each other, which made it a bit difficult. Now we're going to go to number 8 and number 8. Now we're going to assign all of these chemists to beds really easily because they're all downstairs. And also assign your handlers beds as well. Now we did put an extra bed for ourselves down there. If you want to make things a little bit easier, we're going to have a look who's here. Justin Muller. So we're going to find Justin and we're going to deassign him his bed and we're going to put him out the back. That way you are front and center, ready to sleep. Now, finally, we're going to be assigning our routes for our handlers. So the first route is going to be really easy. This is going to go right there. How you assign routes is you walk up, you press E. You're going to see this routes tab. We're going to add new. First selection of none. We're going to go to the second cauldron, and then that's going to go to the second lab oven. Oh no, sorry, that's wrong. We're going to be selecting the second rack here, and that's going to be going to the cauldron. And now we're going to be going to the third rack, which is a third cauldron, and then fourth rack to the fourth cauldron, and that's going to be it. We're going to move on to the next handler. And we're going to cross over to the other side. We're going to go 1, so we're going to count. We know this is 4. That's 5, and that's going to 5 here. 6 to 6. Or 8 to 8. There we go. I can't count. So 1, 2, 3, 4 assigned to 1, 2, 3, 4. And we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 assigned. Now, after you put money into the briefcases of your employees, all that's going to be left to do is put gasoline into the cauldrons. So you're going to need 160 gasoline all up. We're going to go and put gasoline in every single cauldron. Now, we're not going to have an oversupply for gasoline because gasoline is so easy to order. If you want to, you can order something from the delivery van and just leave it sitting outside for when you're ready for gasoline. Now, to show you this factory is ready to be turned on, I'm going to just feed 20 coca leaves into this shelf here. And now it's going to come to life. The handler is going to take it from the shelf, put it into the cauldron, burn it. It's going to go to the lab oven. And then the lab ovens, we're going to select destinations for these to these shelves. So finally, we're going to select the destination from the furthest to shelf 1, the second to 2, third to 3, fourth to 4, and then we're going to go, so we'd see that, and this doesn't have a destination, this is going to 5, which is on this side, 6, 7, and then finally 8. Now, if we hover our mouse, we can see this has got destinations, and that's going to funnel all of your finished product into these shelves. Now, it is time to go to the bungalow. Now, don't get overwhelmed. There has been a lot of time and trial and error that has gone to making the perfect, most efficient 8-step mixing process that is going to produce you the end result of the bricks that you want. First and foremost, I'm going to clear these shelves that we've been using for testing. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly go back to the barn and I'm going to fill all of these shelves with coca leaves, just so when we do go back to the docks and come back here after we've set up the next process, I'm going to show you that it works. Now, I've just put a few lots of coca leaves into the cauldrons, and I want you to have a look at this. And there you have it. All 8 cauldrons have turned on seamlessly. If you know how cauldrons work, you know how rare this is. Now that's going to feed into the lab ovens and that's going to go into the shelves. But we're not going to stand around here and wait. We're going to go to the bungalow and set up the next stage of the process. Okay, now here you go. You're going to put out 4 beds like such. You're going to put another bed there. You're going to turn the corner, and that is going to be your final bed. So 4 against this wall, 1 at the foot of the bed, and 1 turned in the corner. And that is going to be your bed setup, and you're going to put a brick press down right here. Now, if you've seen my other 8-step mixing guide, we have totally solved the problem or any issues that you've had with 8-step mixing, and we have optimized this out of this world. So here you go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You're going to go 8 shelves in the kitchen. You're going to put another shelf right here. And then finally, you're going to put another shelf here. Now for your mixing stations, your first mixing station is going to go hard up against the door frame like such. The next mixing station is going to go hard up against the wall like so, with the other mixing station hard pressed against it. Now you're going to turn the corner and you're going to put your mixing station here, and then the other one hard up against it, and finally, lastly, again hard up against it. Now you're going to come into the middle of the room, you're going to line up with the middle, that's going to be that for me. So you're going to put down your 2 mixing stations like such. Now I'm not doing this from memory, guys. Before I tore this down, we tested it, and I'm actually watching a little guide that I recorded so that I can give you a guide. It's guideception right now. And for your final shelf is going to go into the bedroom right here, and that is where your finished product is going to go. Now this is the order of your mixing stations. Your first mixing station is going to be routed into this one here. This mixing station is going to be routed to this one. That one is going to go to the right. This mixing station to the right. This mixing station to the right. And of course, we're just going to follow the whole way down. And now we're going to select the destination for this mixing station to this shelf. Now, you're going to have 3 chemists and 2 handlers. It's very important that you have this set up. Now, your first chemist is going to be assigned 3 mixing stations in this order. He's going to go mixing station 1. We're going to skip 2, skip 3, skip 4, skip 5. He's going to go mixing station 6 and mixing station 7. Your next chemist is going to go mixing station not 1, not 2. He's going to go mixing station 3, skip, that's 4, mixing station, he's going to go mixing station 5, and then finally mixing station 8. Now your last chemist is just going to fill the gaps, so he's going to be 2 and... yeah, here's 2 and 4, okay? And that is going to be all of your mixing stations assigned to all of your chemists. And for the handlers, it's pretty straightforward. You're going to see your first handler, he's going to be empty. We're going to select the first none. This shelf here is going to go to this shelf. We're going to add new, the second to the second, third to the third, fourth to the fourth, and finally, number 5 to number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now here's what we're going to do. We're going to assign all of our employees beds inside the bungalow like such. And you should have a spare bed here for you to sleep in. Now, we are going to put money into these briefcases straight away. And you're going to want to put only 20 of each of your mixer into the shelves. So for my case, we're going to be using the 8-step highest value. For the first step is going to be motoroil. And we're just going to put 20 in and we're going to move along. And we're going to put 20 into the next shelf, move over, 20 into the next shelf, 20 into the next shelf, 20 into the next shelf, and so forth. Now you should have your handlers coming in and grabbing these off the shelves and taking them to the corresponding mixing stations. Now we're going to do a final check. So we're going to see this is stage 1 into stage 2 into stage 3 into stage 4, stage 5, stage into stage 6, into stage 7, into stage 8, and that is going to be the correct recipe right there. Now we're going to fill the rest of the supply shelves with our mixers. And there you have it, all of your shelves are going to be filled with your mixers. Now you're going to ask, why do we put 20 in? Not just to check, but we're preloading the machines. I want you to remember, when we feed 80 of product into this, it's going to be equivalent to 80, but we've got to account for the 20 that is going to be then put back onto the shelves. So we need to preload 20 here because our handlers are not going to care how much product is in this shelf. So we're always going to need 20 more on our mixers. Now it's going to be really easy. The second you see this shelf dwindle, you know 80 product is in the mixer. So you're just going to be watching this shelf, and once it's empty, you're going to restock it. And then once this shelf is empty, restock it. And you're just going down the line, restocking one shelf at a time. And once you reach the end, you know you have cycled 80 top tier products through your mixing steps. And that is going to be fully restocked just for you to put another 80 in there and repeat the cycle, going 80, 80, 80, 80, 80 at once, only restocking these shelves when they go completely empty. Now let us jump in the van and we're going to cruise off to the docks and we're going to pick up all of the coca leaves. Now what did I tell you guys? When we get back here, we're going to have a bunch of coca leaves in our shelves ready for collection. Now it might seem like it was a long time we were gone, but it really wasn't. It was roughly just over a day in game time, and look at all of the coca leaves we have produced. It is still not even finished, all premium quality. How good is that? And while we're here, we can take a quick peek at the shelves. We're wondering why this cleaner hasn't been cleaning. The shelves are almost completely empty, so these are going to need a restock before we go. Oh no, sorry, these are the supply shelves here. So we've still got actually plenty of supplies and seeds in there. Now we're just going to ask a cleaner a question. Why aren't you working? He hasn't been paid, so that is my bad. I forgot to put money in his briefcase. There he goes. Now he's going to start cleaning. Hopefully that's all clean by the time we get back. We're just going to ask why she isn't working. Nothing for her to do. Now we want to chuck the rest of the product into the back of the van and we're going to cruise off to the barn. Now we're going to walk in. The first thing we're going to do is we want to check the distribution of our coke into our shelves. And it's looking like we're getting a pretty good split here. Now it is all standard quality because the leaves I did feed them was standard, remember? Now you're just going to go one by one, putting 20 into each of these racks. I know it's a bit laborious, but it is really not that hard. And there you go. There's the 80th there. We're just going to run back to the back of the van. We're going to grab out another as much as we can. And we're just going to put 20 into each. Now I have a little odd number left over. What you can do is you can put down another large storage rack if you like, and this can just be a little odd number of coca leaves, totally optional, or you can just destroy it, up to you. Now before we leave, we want to grab all of our finished product. Now this is the product we have produced in the time that we've been gone. Now it's looking pretty good to me. That is an even 80 right there. We have not had a single hiccup. Now we're going to go straight to the bungalow. Guys, the amount of effort and time that has gone to optimizing every single stage of this setup so you don't have a single issue has been immense. Now if there is ever a time to like, comment, and subscribe, now is that time. And of course, shout out to my Twitch chat and everyone that has helped me along the way. There was a lot of minds that went into perfecting this guide for you. And of course, link is going to be in the description if you feel like you're going to want to tune in. Now, I am actually very excited. All that is left to do is throw our 80 product onto our shelves and watch the handler enable the first stage of our mixing process. Now this is a common mistake that I make. I accidentally keep putting 20 into this mixing station, forgetting that this is the first step here. So I assigned this shelf to this mixing station. You're not going to want to do that. You're going to want to assign it to this mixing step. Now before we get started, there is actually one other thing that we have to do. So we're going to take the mixer. So we're going to go to our first chemist. Oh, he's just going to re-grab that. So we're going to quickly pick up that table, and that's mixing station 3. Now we're going to go over here, and we're just going to place one product. Now this is a bit annoying, but I'm sorry, it has to be done. You just want to whip down to the gas mart, and you're going to do the mix yourself. So we're going to see this is unlocked. We tested the whole process with a different product, so don't worry, it's still the same thing. And now I'm just going to rename this stage 1, okay? And then we're putting it back in, and we're going to rename this. So we're going to do, and this is going to give us a good proofread to make sure that we are producing what we want. I'm going to go stage 2, and we're going to go stage 3, which is paracetamol. And right until we get to the very end, we can see a market value of $735, and that's going to be Cowboys Gold. Now, obviously, we completely disrupted the mixing cycle, but that's okay. We can see this still has an assignment. This is not an assignment, and we're going to reassign this one to here. And we're going to go to our chemists and just see. So the first one of these should be 1, 6, and 7. The other one, we're looking for 3, 5, and 8. So he is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is going to be him, and that looks like 8. So he's going to be assigned to 3. And then we're just going to put 20 paracetamol back on the shelf. And there we have it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All in the right order. Motor oil, coke, paracetamol, gasoline, coke, horse, battery, and megabeans. And we're going to go back to the handler that is assigned to the brick press. That is him. We're going to add new, and we're going to select this shelf, and we're going to add the first proper stage right now. And now here we go. Properly, the factory is going to come to life. We're going to wait for the first stage to go down. Now, of course, it's going to take a wee while for all the stages to catch up, but once you start refeeding for the rest of your product, things are going to go really well. Now, you can let a few of your grow cycles go through before you come to the next stage. So obviously, you're going to want to get the first stage out of the way, resupply your dealers. And here we go. It's now going to go to the second stage. And look at that. Both chemists turning on 2 mixing stations at the same time. And we have product and mixer going on to the mixing at the same time. And there you go. Like clockwork, they are working in sync, not against each other. First stage is going down. Second stage is going down. And third stage is going down all at the same time. Click, click, and click. How good is that? Now, like I said, all you need to do is keep an eye on this shelf, and when this depletes, fill it up entirely with your empty inventory. And then when the next shelf depletes, fill it up entirely, not worrying about where these are, just one shelf at a time. And then as you get to the end, run, grab more product from your van, fill up this shelf, and just repeat the process. Now remember, all of those other stations are working pretty autonomously. You don't need to go to that docks to fill up those supplies anytime soon. You don't need to go to the barn. This is your only job when it comes to producing the highest quality, highest value item in the game at a mass production scale. Oh, because we did pick up this mixing station, you're going to need to go to your mixing handler, and you're going to have it. You would have had a none there. You're just going to click that none and reassign it, the mixer, back to the station. Now, a bit of a hiccup there. We probably lost 15-25 seconds, so we're going to pay for that all the way down the line. So you can see we've kind of missed a step. This product has continued to advance, while this was a bit of a hold up here. That's totally fine. That just means we're going to get one brick produced a bit faster than the others, and then all of the other ones are going to come behind in sequence. Now we're keeping an eye on the shelf. The last of our product has just gone into the cycle and we've got 20 here left. Now when this pops back up and that moves on, the last of this product is going to be dragged onto that shelf. As you can see, all of our chemists are working in sync back to back. There goes stage 7. Stage 7 is down. Now if you wanted to cycle another 80 through, I will be putting in that 80 right now and I'll be keeping an eye on this shelf. Now there goes, and then that is going to be, we're going to have one left due to our one that we did. Now we're going to be doing a full order of 160 motoroil. And look, we can see the next shelf has 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. How perfect. Here comes out, or here goes down, the 8th stage of our mixing process. Look at that. There you have it, 20 Cowboys golds, the first 20 to hit the end of the line. Now we have this mixer about to go down, this one's down, this one's down, this one's down. They're all down, and now that has got no more product left. Now we're going to have all of these catching up in sync. He's going to grab our 20 gold transporter over to our brick press. I hope you're as excited as I am. It's going to go in. The man is going to clamp our first brick. Sweet relief. Now please deliver me my brick, sir. Cowboys gold. Now the cycle has caught up. We can see these mixing stations are now coming up. The last one has gone down. These timers are exactly where we want them to be. Now I'm going to go into the brick room. I'm going to pull out my phone. It is currently 10 p.m. and I'm going to come back to you once these bricks start filtering in. Now it is 11:15, 1 minute and 15 seconds later, about the time it took us for that little gap where we didn't realize about the paracetamol. The second brick is coming inside. Now we can go over to the last mixer. It has 47 seconds left, 48, 15. Now minute by minute, we're going to have product hit the brick press and go onto our shelves. Now, if you cycled these mixing stations like we talked about and filled up your storage rack, you would have minute by minute bricks flowing through this brick press. Talk about production. Now here we go. We can see the next cycle coming on. He's coming in to grab our finished product. It is 12. It has been 1 minute and 20 seconds since the last brick has come through here. Third brick is hitting the brick press. It is only 1. Alright guys, I'm not going to put you through the whole 8, but as you can see, our mixing station does work. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I assume we have got one more on its way. That is going to be 8 bricks in total, 1 minute apart after you set up the cycle, and you can keep feeding the machine. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope you can see how much effort went into creating this step-by-step perfect guide for you guys. Now, this is fully optimized from start to finish. There is no better guide for a brick production on YouTube right now. I'm going to thank you again so much for watching and the support you've been giving me in my recent videos. Now, if there ever was a time to like, comment, and subscribe and engage with me, this is the time. If you want more content like this, let me know and it's going to come. I'll be live on Twitch most of the time when I set up my planning and do my design, so you can find me there. Link will be in the description along with a bunch of other links. Just go check it out. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I will see you in the next one. And as always, I'll see you in the next one.